Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 17th of August. The first important news, that is Center approve PM-eBus Sewa scheme, something very important that will call for the part of e-bus, specifically in tier 2 and 3 cities, and in the cities where actually the bus services are not well developed. Second, that is Bihar caste-based survey and its legal challenge. A petition has been filed in Honorable Supreme Court regarding the part of the processes that is conducted with regards to the survey. Third, that is understanding the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change U-turn with regards to the amalgamation of some of the bodies and the functioning. We'll see the detail. These both are from the text and context page of the Hindu. Second last, that is Center and WHO to launch global initiative on digital health. And the last is an editorial, the future will not forgive the government. This is with regards to the bill, the biodiversity bill and the environment bill, which has its own repercussion and it's the part of the bottlenecks and you can say downsides. So this is a kind of a critical part where the analysis has been given. I'll make you understand what is the complete gist of this editorial. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And before I begin this session in detail, if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do hit that like button. Starting the session with the first news, that is Center approved PM-eBus Sewa scheme, something important for General Studies paper 2. That is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementation. At the same time, this particular news is also important for General Studies paper 3, where infrastructure related topic is categorically mentioned in the syllabus. So you can integrate this particular news as a fodder point in these two papers as well. So in order to promote green mobility across the country, the Union Cabinet, which was chaired by the Prime Minister of India, has approved the PM-eBus scheme. This is something very important in the context that India has already made commitment to the Panchamrit. Now you can integrate this point और आप यहाँ पे इसे जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की टारगेट है उससे जोड़ के देख सकते हैं. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैज एक्चुअली सेट the 5 big goals. I think most of you must be aware of the 5 goals. The first among them is to achieve the net zero emissions. So net zero emissions की अगर target की बात करें, so this is something which will be again very important. The target is for 2070. So this is something that will integrate on that part. तो 2070 में जो नेट जीरो एमिशंस की टारगेट है, दैट इज समथिंग विल बी रिलेटेड टू दिस ओनली. उसके अलावा इंडिया ने कार्बन एमिशंस 1 बिलियन तक कम करने की बात की है बाय 2030. मोस्ट ऑफ द टारगेट दैट इंडिया विल बी अचीविंग इज बाय 2030. देन अगेन रिड्यूसिंग द कार्बन इंटेंसिटी बाय 45%. दिस इज द अनदर टारगेट. और नॉन फॉसिल एनर्जी से 5 गीगावाट्स भी 2030 की टारगेट रखी गई है. सो मेक श्योर यू आर कंप्लीटली अवेयर विद द पंचामृत part which government has actually talked about. Prime Minister ने इसके बारे में बात की है. So these all scheme will definitely help to achieve the targets which was set. The scheme is an operational. This particular scheme, that is PM-eBus Sewa, will call for 10,000 electric bus in 100 cities with priorities to those cities without organized bus services. वैसे शहरों पे खासा ध्यान दी जाएगी जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी किसी तरह के बस सर्विसेज डेवलप नहीं है, specifically with regards to e-buses. Now, the Prime Minister has said that this will redefine the urban mobility, which is again very important as a part of infrastructure development. It will strengthen the urban transport infrastructure in the country, or a scheme ke through the support bus operational for 10 years will be given by the Union government. Something very important to transform the part of urban landscape, even for the tier 2 cities also. This will call for redefining the part of urban mobility. Now the coverages, basically the government has come up with the roadmap जहाँ पे इस स्कीम के थ्रू 3 lakhs और above populations के जो जगह होंगे, जो cities होंगे, उनको कैटर किया जाएगा. The capital cities, the union territories, northeastern region and the hill state will be given the priorities. Under the scheme, the priority will be given to the cities with no organized bus services so that at least they could have the ability and even to ensure that e-buses के सर्विस से वहाँ पे और ज़्यादा help मिल सके. Now there are two segments of this scheme. This is something important for mains examination. If you're writing specifically in mains, आप इस तरह के important points highlight कर सकते हैं. So the first segment that is there is called for augmenting the city bus services. Almost 169 cities को select की गई है, right? So the bus provided for augmenting the cities operational with 10,000 buses, which will call for the public-private partnership. तो ट्रिपल पी मॉडल पे काम की जाएगी so that the work is done with ensuring the quality. Associated infrastructure develop करने की बात की गई है. This will also call for the upgradations of the depot infrastructure, creation of behind the meter power infrastructure जैसे कि substations हैं e-buses के लिए. Because if you are running with an e-bus, a prior preparation with regards to the part of stations, charging stations, the part of the depot, these all will be required mandatorily. Now segment 2 है, that is the urban mobility initiative, that is QME1. So this call for the green initiative like the bus priority infrastructure, multimodal interchange facility, NCM based automated fare collection system, changing infrastructure, etc. Now significance की अगर बात करें, the first significance, there are 3 important significance, but we'll start with the first, that is boosting the e-mobility. इस scheme के through e-mobility that will be provided to support behind the meter power infrastructure, or cities will also be supported for the development of charging infrastructure against the green mobility initiative. In many important cities, if you talk about metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai, even be it for Calcutta, Bengaluru, Pune, these all cities have been incorporating for the part of green urban mobility. Now government is planning to expand it further to other cities as well. Now adaptations of the green mobility will reduce the noise and air pollutions and curb the emissions. So FAME initiatives भी आप यहाँ पे जोड़ के देख सकते हैं. They're FAME 2 and FAME 3, which is already in operation. Now modal shift due to increase in the share of bus in the public transport will also lead to the GHC reductions. Now it will call for direct employment opportunities or generations. इस तरह के schemes के through almost close to 45,000 to 55,000 direct jobs create होंगे with the part of the bus services that will be operational. And support for the operation under the scheme, the state and cities shall be responsible for learning the bus services. जो bus services की जो executions है running part वो state government के पास दी गई है. They are making payment to the bus operations. The central government will support this bus operations by providing subsidy to the extent specified by the proposal. जो भी proposal में specified होंगी उतनी अमाउंट सैंक्शंस की जाएगी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से. द रेस्ट विल बी टेकन केयर बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, राइट? सो दिस इज हाउ द एंटायर प्रोसेस विल एक्चुअली वर्क. नाउ मूविंग अहेड, that is the Bihar caste based survey and its legal challenge. This is from the text and context page of the Hindu. Important for general studies paper 2, that is welfare schemes for the vulnerable section of the population by the center and the state governments. So एक पिटिशन फाइल की गई है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में एंड दिस इज सपोज टू बी हर्ड टुमारो, दैट इज 18th of August, and this petition is challenging the Patna High Court verdict for upholding the Bihar government ongoing caste survey. तो बहुत सारे important implications बताए गए हैं इस caste survey की और किस तरह से स्टेट के पास इतनी पावर नहीं है कि वो इस तरह के स्टेट सर्विस को करवाएं. This is what the petition has actually talked about, right? We'll see the legality of that as well. So in January, the Bihar government has begun the process of conducting the household survey to collect and publish the data on caste with aims to ensure कि एक round of development, एक holistic development के लिए सारे sections के बारे में एक status पता होना चाहिए. Then only the state government can come up with the part of policies dedicated to the specific section of the society. This was the main aim and rationale behind the intention of the Bihar government conducting the part of the caste-based survey. Now, if you see the path of caste-based survey की अगर बात करें, in January 2023, the state government of Bihar has launched two-phased caste survey की बात की गई थी, with stating with the part of detailed informations, socio-economic conditions को ध्यान में रखते हुए creating a better policies for the disadvantaged group. Now, the survey is estimated to collect the socio-economic data for the populations with 2.70 crore with 38 districts of the Bihar. तो जो टोटल पॉपुलेशन है बिहार की 12.70 करोड़ के आसपास, उसमें 38 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में सर्वे होनी थी. द फर्स्ट फेज ऑफ द सर्वे विच इन्वॉल्व द पास ऑफ हाउस लिस्टिंग एक्सरसाइज. नाउ चैलेंजेस की अगर बात करें, द चैलेंजेस फॉर द कास्ट बेस्ड सेंसस दैट इज एक्चुअली कंडक्टेड बाय द बिहार गवर्नमेंट. So the census conducted at the beginning of the decade does not record any caste data other than those listed in the scheduled caste. This is the first. Now, absence of census की अगर बात करें, there is a lot of problem. There is no proper estimate of the populations of OBCs, other backward castes की अगर बात करें, within OBCs there are the various communities, तो उनके कोई भी डेटा नहीं है. तो अल्टीमेटली ये सर्वे से जो एक्चुअल बेनिफिशियरीज हैं वो बहुत हद तक एग्जेम्प्टेड होंगे. Now, despite the ambiguity, the union government has categorically ruled that out of conducting the part of socio-economic caste census. Now, union government in 2011 has undertaken the survey of the caste survey, the part of through social economic census. Government ने already SECC की survey कराई. This is called as socio-economic caste census 2011, where they have come up with some data. But अगर Supreme Court में 1992 में एक important judgment दी थी, that is versus Indira Sahani and other versus Union of India, which has said that the caste was an acceptable indicator for the backwardness and recommended जो मंडल कमीशंस की रिपोर्ट्स हैं उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की ज़रूरत है, ऐसा कहा गया था इंदिरा सहानी एंड अदर्स वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया के जजमेंट में. इफ यू आर राइटिंग इन मेंस स्पेसिफिकली, मेक श्योर यू हाईलाइट दिस. Now, the Mandal Commissions estimated OBC populations at 52%. Now, why it was challenged and what is the legality of that? If you look into the part, petitions ने Supreme Court में ये contend किया है that Bihar government, which has come up with the survey in June, this was the order, initial order that they have notified. This is constitutional, unconstitutional बताई गई है इसे. किस तरह से? Because it only extend this power to the center. ये कास्ट बेस्ड सेंसस की जो पावर है वो एक्सक्लूसिवली सेंटर को दी गई है, कंडक्टिंग द सेंसस अंडर द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. नाउ दे आल्सो पॉइंट आउट दैट द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट डज नॉट हैव एनी इंडिपेंडेंट पावर टू अपॉइंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट और लोकल अथॉरिटीज फॉर क्वालिटिंग द डेटा विदाउट नोटिफाइंग अंडर सेक्शंस 3 ऑफ द कास्ट सेंसस 1948 by the center. Now, the Supreme Court verdict also has been installed with the group where it violates the part of Puttaswamy judgment, जहाँ पे राइट टू प्राइवेसी और इम्पॉर्टेंट पर्सनल डेटा को लेकर की काफ़ी सावधानी बरतने की बात की गई है, एंड द जजमेंट हैज कैटेगोरिकली नोटेड इट टू बी द पार्ट ऑफ द फंडामेंटल राइट. Now, moving to the other news, that is understanding the MOEF-FCC U-turn. This is something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is the conservation, environmental pollutions, degradation and EIA. Now, in June, the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has notified to establish the integration of regional offices by merging the part of Forest Survey India, जिसे FCI भी कहते हैं, FCI. Then there we have NTCA, that is National Tiger Conservation Authority, and WCCB, that is Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. उसके अलावे ZZA, that is सेंट्रल जू अथॉरिटी, इन सबको अमेलगेट करके इनके ऑफिस को मर्ज करने की बात की गई थी. एंड इफ दिस वुड बी मर्ज्ड, it will have a uniform power to single entity that will be holding the part which will be held by some IAS officers. This will ultimately, that will be the government decision. और अभी इस टाइम पे कुछ ऑटोनोमस पावर भी है इन बॉडीज के पास, वो पूरी तरह से खत्म हो जाएगी. तो एक बहुत बड़ी कंसर्न थी इन्वायरमेंटलिस्ट की तरफ से, इन्वायरमेंटल कंसर्न को दिखाते. Now, planned by the ministries की अगर बात करें, such idea of reorganization was announced by the government actually during the COVID-19 lockdowns, and उस टाइम भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा criticism हुई थी इस तरह के decision की. वैसे बताया गया था कि इस तरह के जो environmental organizations हैं that will become a toothless and there will be no sense of setting out with this part of the establishment or functioning. So examples की अगर बात करें NTCA की, they have opposed the forest clearances for the infrastructure project, और जो टाइगर के प्रोजेक्ट्स के रिलेटेड जो इश्यूज होते हैं उसकी क्लियरेंस अथॉरिटी इनके पास होती है. तो अगर ये ऑफिस कंबाइन कर दी गई और एक डिफरेंट फंक्शनिंग बॉडी के पास चली जाती है तो उसके लिए फिर बहुत हद तक पावर कम हो जाएगी. तो दिस विल समथिंग प्रोवाइड they will directly come under the part of Deputy Director General of Forest, who is in charge of the integrated regional offices and report to the ministry. So, koi officers, I mean, I'm assuming that he will be definitely an IAS officer. So, if he is taking the position reporting to the ministry, accordingly, बहुत सारे ऐसे जो nuances होते हैं environmental clearances में जो एक एक्सपर्ट बॉडी ले सकती है, वो इस तरह की बॉडी जो एमलगेट करके बनेगी विल नॉट बी आई एम नॉट आस्किंग अबाउट द कैपेसिटी, और मैं इनके जो काबिलियत है टैलेंट पे डाउट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बट अगेन सम लूप होल्स डेफिनेटली विल एग्जिस्ट इफ दिस विल बी एमलगेटेड. दैट इज द रीजन गवर्नमेंट हैज विथड्रॉ द पार्ट ऑफ इट डिसीजन, नॉट ऑफिशियली बट दे आर रिलक्टेंट टू गो अहेड विद द डिसीजन. Now, why was the ministry rational? Ministry ने क्या कहा एक्चुअल में? अगर बात करें मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ क्लाइमेट फॉरेस्ट एंड एनवायरमेंट क्लाइमेट चेंज की, दे हैव एक्चुअली फाइल्ड एक पिटिशन पहले फाइल की गई थी by the Giridhar Kulkarni, is a Belgium-based environmentalist. He has said that the petition was filed in the Karnataka High Court, arguing that it would mount to the merging of entities and it's immersible in the law. तो इस चीज को ध्यान में रखते हुए मिनिस्ट्रीज ने बताया कि ये सिर्फ रीजनल ऑफिसर्स को मर्ज कर रहे हैं ताकि प्रॉपर फंक्शनिंग हो सके, बट अगेन द इंटेंशन ऑफ मैलाफिडी कैन नॉट बी कंटिन्यू, राइट. तो कर्नाटका हाई कोर्ट ने इस बात पे बेसिकली इस पिटिशंस को रिजेक्ट किया है एंड सेड दैट अगर किसी तरह से बाद में प्रॉब्लम होती है, एमलगेशन की जाती है और पावर किसी तरह से कर्व की जाती है, तो फिर से वापस पिटिशनर इसके लिए पिटिशन फाइल कर सकते हैं. Now, how the ministry has changed and how it is changing in due course. So, in recent time, the role and functioning of the regional offices of the ministry has been witnessing the part of environmental approvals. अगर बात करें legally mandated safeguards की, construction, corporations and closures has been there. As a result, such widened role of the additional funding infrastructure remain unclear that is supported and provided. An intent decentralized infrastructure is essential to increase the accessibility, regulators and potentially enhance the part of legal enforcement. Now, moving ahead with other news, that is Center and WHO to launch global initiative on digital health. WHO on several occasions has pitched for the part where the digital health initiative is something that was very important. तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने जो करंटली इंडिया इज द G20 चेयर एज वेल, तो उसी कंटेक्स्ट में बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजन ली गई है. दिस पर्टिकुलर न्यूज इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर जनरल स्टडीज पेपर 2, दैट इज इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू development and management of health. So if you look at the part, India and the World Health Organization is planning to launch the global initiative on digital health, and this initiative aims to cover the part of efforts and investment in digital health space around the globe. Not only India, many other countries, if you talk country like China, they are also working for it. United States, North Korea, right? And even South Korea, Japan, these all countries have actually, even United Kingdom has also come up with the part of digital health. India will definitely not lag behind, and we are putting our best impetus to reach out at the global level. Now, according to the officials, initiative on digital health, first of its kind, were announced by the first health meeting of the G20 grouping, which was there this year in January. And India is currently the G20 presidency. India will hold G20 presidency till November 2023. And in this presidency, India is working on different vertical to enhance the part of level and making unanimous decision with the G20 member countries. Advantages की अगर बात करें, the global initiative will be launched on August 19. This will help to converge the part of digital health innovations. उसके अलावा this will call for improving the healthcare service delivery system, right? The global digital platform will have an investment tracker. उसके अलावा it will help us understand the part of products and services, library of extensions of the digital platforms. Now, India will also focus on affordability, accessibility and usability. That are the three main aspects of the health sector. Very important point. Make sure you note this and use this in a mains paper. Now, the G20 co-brand event has the Advantage and Healthcare 2023, which will focus on the global collaborations, partnership for building the resilient healthcare system. Now, focus of G20 Health Ministries meeting की अगर बात करें, the G20 Health Ministry meeting will focus on 3 priorities. कौन से वो priorities हैं? The first priority, this is the first priority, that is health emerging prevention, preparedness, response, and focus on antimicrobial resistance and World Health Framework. Right? This is first. Now, the second priority is strengthening the cooperation in pharmaceutical sector that focuses on assessing the part of availability to safe, effective, and quality and affordable medicine to the countermeasures. उसके अलावा third, that is the important aspect, that is digital health innovations and solutions to aid universal health coverage to improve the healthcare delivery services. The summit is also working and garnering the part of support for setting up the climate and health initiative in collaborations with the Asian Development Bank and launching the patient healthcare workflows as the mobility portal. Now, moving ahead with the editorial of the day, that is the future will not forgive the government. This is a part of the critic that has been discussed. Where the government decision was there. Important for Gender Studies paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementations. So under this editorial, I'll be looking into the part for the environmental related bill and its concern, not walking the talk, the bill shortcomings, the businesses of the conservations, and the conclusion part. So I think most of you must be aware with the recent bill that the government has actually planned and tabled in the monsoon session. 2 बिल ऐसे हैं जो कि यूनियन गवर्नमेंट ने काफ़ी इम्पैक्ट किया है इन्वायरमेंट को ध्यान में रखते हुए. The bill that was there as actually their past bill was the Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023, and the previous bill, that is the government has come up with the formality that is regarding the Biodiversity Amendment Bill 2023. These two were presented simultaneously on the day and before. तो कंसल्टेशंस कमेटी ने बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ों को हाईलाइट की. इवन द पार्ट ऑफ द स्क्रूटनी कमेटी, अपोजिशंस ने भी इस तरह के जो बिल पास किए गए उसमें बहुत सारे इन्वायरमेंटल चैलेंजेस हैं उसके बारे में बात की है. द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ वेटलैंड्स इन द कंट्री वाज आल्सो इनटू कंसिडरेशन. Now, not walking the talk, this is what the author has actually highlighted. So the timing of the bill must to be noted, and it should be mooted in the round of the G20 summit, which actually set up the target for September, जहाँ पे G20 की summit होनी है दिल्ली में, right? The climate change and the environment have been the due importance of the G20 agenda. Moreover, the signatory of the Paris Agreement, India is along lecture with the part to protect the environment, forest and biodiversity. We have a global commitment to ensure और उसी को अलाइन करते हुए डोमेस्टिक जो पॉलिसीज हैं दैट इज इंक्लाइन टू दैट ओनली. नाउ शॉर्टकमिंग्स की अगर बात करें, द बिल कलेक्टिवली अंडरमाइन द पार्ट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट विच गारंटी द पार्ट ऑफ राइट फॉर द ट्राइबल एंड अदर ट्रेडिशनल ड्यूलिस्ट. The government is trying to push back to India's foundation ideas, conservation, going back to the forest conservation of 1980. Now, ease of doing business एक बहुत ही important component है, but we cannot compromise on our environment, right? The businesses has to go parallel, but it should not even hinder any part of the environment sustainability. तो इस तरह की जो present government की अगर बात करें, that has to take into considerations और government को सारी activities को ध्यान रखने की जरूरत है. Now, businesses of conservations की अगर बात करें, safeguarding the part of the primary business of the conservation should be the sole most priority. Any development causing the peril of the environmental cannot be sustainable. See, if you are compromising as now, it will have a repercussion in future. So we have to neglect that part. Amending made in the Forest Conservation Act has widened the way for forest clearances in all development project, but it will definitely undermine the part of the ecological disbalance. And one of the consequences that is there, which is the part of judgment, which was there in T.N. Govardhan versus Union of India in 1996. Now, conclusions की अगर बात करें, the assault on the Mother Earth propelled by the unyielding, the the part of the human, that is causing unbearable havoc to the नेचर इन ह्यूमन लाइफ इटसेल्फ रिपीटेड फ्लड्स लैंडस्लाइड्स की अगर बात करें हिमालयन रीजन में दैट इज एन इम्पेंडिंग डेंजर अभी रिसेंट में आज के न्यूज़ में आपने पढ़ा होगा जोशीमठ में भी काफ़ी इंसिडेंट हुई है सो दीज आर द पार्ट ऑफ द नो इकोलॉजिकल डिसबैलेंसेज एंड unsustainable practices that is resulting out with the part of this repercussions. The famous Mahatma Gandhi quote says that Earth has enough to resource to meet the need of all, but does not have enough to satisfy the greed of one person. Very, very important quote. You can use this many times, I mean, in several occasions on the mains paper. So you need to keep a note of this particular quote. When government find itself at the greed of the crony corporates, the country has to become more vigilant, right? So this is something government intention जिस तरह से corporatizations को बढ़ावा मिला है and even NOC and the part of clearances has become more easy, it will definitely create a problem for our environment sustainability. तो ये एक क्रिटिकल एंगल पे एक लेफ्ट व्यू और एक ऐसे क्रिटिसिज्म पे गवर्नमेंट की बात की गई है. दिस इज समथिंग you have to make your neutral opinion, but आपको ये पक्ष पता होने चाहिए. You can even highlight this, right? And you can end the note your answers कि इस तरह से नहीं गवर्नमेंट को एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी और बैलेंस व्यू के हिसाब से बढ़ने की जरूरत है. Now moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option was B. For second question, the correct option was C. Today's MCQ for practice, that is with reference to the gamma ray burst, consider the following statement. The powerful astronomical cosmic burst of the highly energy gamma rays. This emit more energy than second generation of the sun emit in the lifetime. So check out for the correct option. Second is about the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, the specialized agency of United Nations to assist countries in economic and industrial development at headquarters and UN office in Washington, United States of America. So do check out for the correct option. Practicing a lot more current affair question will give you an edge. You can check out our different platforms where daily questions are published, right? And this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs. If you have any other queries related to courses, admissions, test series, program and courses, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for watching this video.